All right. Well, hey, Dan, I just want to thank you for your time. Just got a few questions for you about the 30-day gut reset.
Mhm.
Um, so if you'd be willing to answer those, I just appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So for those watching, Dan has gone through my 30-day gut reset. If you did not hear, it was the group program that we had earlier this year. But Dan, if you want to share, what were you struggling with before the group program?
Yeah. So I think the main thing that I was struggling with, and that I think the main reason that I kind of reached out about starting with the program was I had real bad, like, it was kind of like acid reflux. It felt kind of like a knife in my stomach.
Mm,
And it would be worse with stress. It would kind of sometimes get a little better, but I feel like the main thing that I was doing at the time to deal with that was just, throwing back a bunch of Tums and kind of being like, there's got to be a different solution to this than just doing that, and it gets a little bit better, but you've got a lot of acid feeling, and so that was, I think, my main struggle was a gut that wasn't happy. I think would be
yeah.
the best way to summarize it.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate there's got to be a better answer to this mentality.
Mhm.
Um, Now, how was that affecting you, like on the daily? What was it that doing?
Yeah, I think uh, the main thing was just the constant naggingness about the pain, and then the other thing that was in the back of my mind was this has got to be a bigger issue than just you know oh, it hurts a little bit, whatever, we'll move on, we'll hope tomorrow's better. But thinking like, what if this is causing more serious health implications, or if you feel like a burning sensation on your inside, it's like that can't be good. There could be long-term health effects to that. So that was kind of what was nagging my mind of, I shouldn't just ignore it right now, because I think down the line it'll kind of escalate.
Hmm.
If it's not getting better right now when I'm younger, when I'm older, it's not just gonna be like, oh, it went away mysteriously. Like, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
Uh, there's going to be some long-term ripple effects. I think that was most what was weighing on my mind. Was what are things going to be like in 20 years if there's kind of that nagging pain in the stomach?
Yeah. I always tell people it's like a baby. We've got a crying child, and it's not, well, I'm going to give them a pill, or I'm going to like put a Band-Aid, or like,
Mhm.
something over its mouth to make it stop. It's what's the problem? Because if we don't address this, it's going to get worse. The baby's going to cry louder. So yeah, that's exactly how you want to be thinking. So then fast forward a little bit, you jump into the program. Um, what were some of the breakthroughs that happened for you during your time of the program?
I think the first breakthrough I had that made things go real well for me, that was really, really encouraging to me, was I was real worried at how limiting the gut reset was going to be, that I was like, I'm not going to be able to eat anything. It's going to be terrible. And I started and I was like, I can eat this and this and this and this and this. So basically all the foods are really open to me. It's just the bad ones that I'm not supposed to be eating. So that was a huge breakthrough of, okay, I think I can do this, because a ton of food, and a ton of food I love, was included in the program,
Mm,
was included in the reset. It wasn't like, because I was worried it was going to be a really harsh, narrowing, reset where you're not able to eat basically anything. But there was so much variety. That was a huge breakthrough of me feeling like I can do this, and this isn't going to be a dreadful month. It's going to be a fun month. So I think that was my first breakthrough moment. Um,
awesome. That's wonderful. Really encouraging too. And that
mhm,
is often one of the limiting factors that people have in their minds when they're thinking about doing this, because they think, oh, it's going to be so strict, like it's going to be too much stress on me. That's not what this is
mhm.
about. Um, so after the program, did you have any big aha moments?
Yeah, I know, during the program, my big aha moment was, and the thing that I'm still saying to myself after the program now that I think is really applicable, especially with everything that's going on, is everyone is different. Everyone is unique when it comes to health. I know that was something that Nicole, you said all the time, is everybody's different. So some people can have this food and it's fine. Some people can have that and it's different. Um, and realizing that it's not like, this is the one answer, the one size fits all answer, but you're on a food journey and you're figuring out, what foods do I interact with and I don't do well with, and what foods do I interact with and I feel better. And paying that close attention, I think that was one of the biggest aha moments from during the program and from after
Mm.
was the lesson that you pushed all the time, which is pay attention, listen to how your body's responding to food, instead of just assuming, oh, it's fine, I'll just ignore it. But having kind of like a dialogue with your stomach, if that makes sense. I think that was a big moment and that's kind of one of the lessons that I've taken with me from the program, is to listen to me and to not be like, oh, I ate terribly one day and I had terrible acid reflux, I must be doing horribly. Instead of being like, no, well, what was it that I ate? How could I limit that? How could I change that? What lessons have I learned? Being more analytical with it than just like a pass fail, like, oh no, I messed up. Being kind of like paying attention, to what foods I don't do as well with and what foods are really good for me to eat. And I think the other big, a couple of things I do we want to say is like aha moments are
Yeah.
variety, how key variety is, and then how important it is to be with a group for this. That was huge, that it wasn't just like you're on your own, you're figuring this out, but I met friends during the program who encouraged me, and we still like, they're one of the ones that I live near. When I run into her, we are encouraging each other and talking about food and
Yeah.
how our progress is going. So that I think is so huge, and that's something that you're not going to get if you just, grab a book and start reading it. You're not going to get the community of people sharing and giving ideas and offering suggestions of what's helping for them, or what like sharing recipes was, I think, one of my absolute favorite parts of it.
Awesome. I'm like, oh my gosh, listening to your body and the fact that you're able to listen to your body is huge. That's what I want for all of my clients to have.
Mhm.
And community, you're right, is key. Like a lot of us, especially in this COVID climate, have lost a lot of community. And when you're trying to implement something for yourself with your health, and you're trying to do it alone and even more alone in this world right now,
Mhm.
having that community is key. And then people, you share your wins with each other and you share your
Yeah.
questions, and it's just it's an exciting time to learn to be well and to
Mhm.
work with others. So
And it's exciting because you're hearing other people who are also doing better.
yeah.
And so you're all kind of encouraged, and you're like feeding off that energy of they're doing better, I'm feeling better, and like miles better, from what I was. And so I think that's a huge thing too, is the community of support, of
Mm,
saying, feeling better, you're feeling better, this is great, let's keep going, let's keep going.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So now that you've gone through the program, like what are you excited about now that you've had these breakthroughs? How has life changed for you?
The main thing that life has changed for me is I don't have that pain anymore.
Mm.
Even when I am not following as strictly on the kind of diet that I want to have, it's not coming back like it was.
Mm.
Like it did what it said. It reset my gut, I think, to a great, more healthy level. And I think the things that I'm excited about is knowing these little tips that I can put into practice when things get a little bad, or when, I'm my stomach is starting to feel a little bit like I'm starting to feel a little more acid reflux coming on. I know there's things I can go do for gut health to help kind of, tone down the acid, or help, increase the good. That I think is super helpful. And I think like what I said from the beginning, is kind of my big takeaway is to pay attention,
Mm.
be attentive to what I'm eating. And I think so often it's really easy to just mindlessly eat, um, and not think about what repercussions or what, effects that might have. So I think that's one of the things that I take away the most, is the paying attention to, and knowing that, like I love the description of the journey, that it's not just like you're either on this or you're not, but you're like, okay, you're moving forward with food. You're thinking about how to add this or try that. But yeah, I think that's one of the biggest takeaways I've had from the program, where I go from there. And also just, I think the huge value is having all my notes from the reset, having all the information I learned from the reset.
Mhm.
If I get to a problem down the road where the acid reflux comes back really bad, I know I can do like another month, and I know I can reach out to the, program, and reach out to Nicole and say, hey, I think I might want to try to do another month, to get things back to where they are. So
Yeah.
having that connection is really great.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm so encouraged to hear that, Dan. Really, just so encouraged. Because that is another thing. Like I give you the tools ideally to help you in the long run. And if you ever wanted to jump back into the program, we could talk about that. But ideally, like you're able to be your best health advocate and you're
Mhm.
able to implement these strategies. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's great. It's priceless. That's long-term healthcare, if you will. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, so we're almost done, but just one last question, and that's if there are any other benefits or gratitude that you'd like to share about. I know you shared a lot, right, already, but
Mhm.
just wanted to give you that space.
Yeah, um, I think I'm really grateful for real learning about this program and learning that there's more that can be done than just throwing a band-aid on a problem. Like, just taking a bunch of tablets isn't the only option that's out there.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that I'm really grateful for is the push to go beyond just the surface level and examine deep reasons why. Why might your body be doing this? What's there other than just kind of the surface level of like, oh, probably I just ate spicy food or something like that. But
Yeah.
looking, why is your body responding that way? What's beyond just that surface level reading? So I'm very grateful for the group. I'm very grateful for you pushing beyond just let me just throw a band-aid on it and move on. Life is busy, but being like, well, let's ask more deeper questions about how our body's responding to things.
Awesome. Yeah. And I mean, a big thing is I give you the tools and you implement. You're the one doing all the work. I'm just here to help coach you, give you the accountability, and give you the tools. So
Mhm.
I just really applaud you. You've come a long way from where you were before, and it's just exciting. So
Mhm.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your time, and we'll be talking.